Hey, so take 2 of why does my GoPro hate me so much? Generally I'd be walking out to the bike from work going, hey, what did I ride today? But got home, it didn't record anything, so here we are. You're gonna get like the not off the cusp jokes. You get the slightly remembered from when I made this video half hour ago jokes. Got done with a bunch of power mods, got the exhaust on, got the EJK on, got the pair valve delete done, took this snorkel out, took the secondary throttle plate out, kind of ran some EJK settings based on what some other people had posted in the KLX groups. I rode it to work and to home from work, which you would have seen if GoPro didn't hate me so much. I don't know why it hates me. I buy all their shit. What's that, Insta? Insta's starting to look real good right now because it's frustrating. I went out to a Harley demo days for like the very first time I'd ever ridden a Harley. Yeah, it's gone. Love it. Super excited. But so we got Elise's bike, got this sissy bar on there. She's kind of doing like a dry run just to see how everything feels. Bags are loaded, saddle bags are loaded, back waterproof bags loaded on loaded upon loaded. So we're gonna do a little spin around town, hit a little bit of highway, see how everything does. I am a fan of this exhaust. I know Elise is probably not going to be a fan of this exhaust. I like it. It's like rowdy, but it's not too crazy loud to where like my crazy HOA neighborhood neighbors are gonna right in front of your face. I got to complain about it. So yeah, we'll get out, kind of talk about some of the things I like about this bike, compare it to the DRZ a little bit. And clearly it's not a DRZ, but you know, whatever. 2 different worlds. Same supermotos, but like 400 carbureted, 300 fuel injected. Yeah, so let's get on the road. Get on the road. Just looking at me like I'm crazy. It's normal. I think this sissy bar turned out great. I do wish that the bag was a little bit more forward so that you could use that as a backrest while riding, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. Did the best we could with the limited amount of time we had. So, let's get on the road, right? Did I say that already with the clap thing? People love the clap.
Is it straight?
Yeah. Gotta let her start her bike first, so that she doesn't hear how loud the KLX is and get pissed. So it looks good. I mean, everything looks sturdy and secure. But the KLX post power mods. I do notice on cold start it does idle a touch on the high side, and that could very well be normal. I notice when it warms up it does idle down around like 1200 RPMs, where right now it's idling closer to 2. Kind of reminds me of like an old carb bike, but it definitely feels like peppier from like the right off the jump kind of throttle stuff. And a lot of people said that that's a secondary throttle plate. definitely has that like right off the line peppiness to it that was like kind of seemed muted before. So I'm pretty stoked about that. That's like the number one thing that I was really looking for. I didn't really plan on picking up any kind of real horsepower. I mean, I think this only has like 23 or something along those lines. Insert actual horsepower numbers here. But I don't even think Kawasaki has like a claimed horsepower amount online. I mean, there's just some people who've done like dyno runs on stock ones and posted those numbers. I know there's some people that are getting, some people doing a little bit further than what I've done with like taking the metal mesh, like spark arrestor piece out and taking out, changing gearing a little bit, a couple things along those lines, where they're getting some really fast 0 to 60 times and like top speeds and stuff like that. I think my biggest thing would be more top speed than 0 to 60 times, especially if I'm going to be doing some kart track racing on it. I guess my 0 to 60 time would be somewhat important because it's where I'm going to spend a lot of time, but I'm going to be on the throttle mainly and I'm not really on the brakes at all. So just want it to be able to stay in motion, especially if I can have less shifting. Like first, second, third gear, like you go through those so quickly. So I can put some longer gears on it. Maybe like up a gear in the front or down a couple in the back. And people say, oh, well, it's gonna wear, you do the front, it's gonna wear your chain faster. Whatever. It's a chain, it's cheap. I like to do my own maintenance, so it doesn't really bother me to replace a chain that takes like 5 minutes. I think the only next real mod that I'm going to buy for this would be tires. You want to get some better grippy tires. People say that these ones usually last around 3,500 miles. So that'll be on the list relatively quickly. And then I think brakes, between like a stainless steel braided line and then maybe some better pads or something along those lines. So getting into those two areas will be the I think that was, are my bags okay? So some brakes, because I've seen people wear through these pretty quickly. Stainless steel line would be nice because it can be a little bit longer. This thing's just like, I feel like, especially if I'm doing anything too crazy, like this is, I had supposed to have like a 90 there, but it's very tight, like a Toyga. And I'm just not crazy about that. I'd like it to have a little bit more free play to it. Yeah, but so far, I mean, this thing has just been sweet. The few little things that I've done to make it kind of quicker off the line, like this is never going to be like a highway bike. I don't plan on riding this on the highway unless I absolutely have to. I have other bikes for riding on the highway. The DRZ will do the highway if it really wants to, but it's also not the greatest on the highway, but it'll do it. This will do it. I rode it the day I bought it. I rode it on the home from the highway like for half hour on the highway, like max throttle for like a good like solid half hour. Look at the way that exhaust sounds. It just has that very like dirt bikey, single cylinder kind of sound to it. But it's just such a smooth bike, even just like this, the accelerating, the shifting, everything about it. When I first got it, it made me kind of miss my old 250L with the slipper clutch. But now that I've kind of ridden this a handful of times and kind of gotten used to it better, it's just so smooth. This thing dips in the corners good. It's fun just to rip around. I could not ask for a better inexpensive factory supermoto. I mean, obviously, like with the DRZ and everything, it was great right out of the box too. Just needed some rowdy exhaust and the 3x3 inject kit. I did all those same things to that. I still need to do the pair valve delete on that, which people say stops with a lot of the lean popping when you're on D-cell. But that doesn't happen nearly as bad since I got rid of the MRD exhaust. But yeah, but I'm super excited. This thing, if these were out at the time that I had gotten my DRZ, I don't know that I would have gotten the DRZ. I probably would have gotten just two of these, one for me and one for Elise. Mainly just because of the simplicity of the fuel injection. I like the simplicity of fuel injection. Granted, with the DRZ, I haven't really had to do anything to it. It only has like 1,500 miles on it. But the little EJK action, some slip-on and airbox mod, like it's all super easy stuff. Like it doesn't really take a whole lot of rocket science. Like granted, the EJK costs a lot more than a jet kit does, but you don't have to clean the carb. You don't have to sit around and mess with it like, oh, you gotta choke it, let it warm up, all that other stuff. So even though the DRZ is like a faster bike, I probably would have just bought two of these. I do love my DRZ, don't get me wrong. Love my DRZ. Love it. The only thing that'll make the DRZ go away is like a KTM 690 or Husky 701. Something along that family line. And even then, I don't even know that I'd get rid of it. It's just such a fun bike. Make it like a SoCal Supermoto style track bike and just get beat up on by people on 450s all day. Yeah. Now this, I do want to, there's a couple of people from the KLX crew, especially Nathan something, that like nickel and dimed or like shaved the weight like as much as humanly possible and got his down to like 279 pounds, which is great. I think it's like what, like 20 some pounds off of factory. So that's an awesome improvement. I would like to get into that area because being down on weight would be great, especially since it doesn't really have a whole lot of power, and there's not like a whole lot of power that you can get out of these. So losing weight, I mean, I could lose weight, but that ain't gonna happen. Everybody knows that. Ooh, I thought she was gonna go. But yeah, love the DRZ. This I might have bought just for simplicity's factor, and fuel injection and 6-gear factors. But the DRZ, I still think is more. I don't know. I don't want to say it's a better bike. It's a different bike. You know, it's got more power. I mean, it weighs slightly close to the same, but the difference is like the fuel injection, the RPMs, things along those lines. The carburetors don't bother me, which is funny because when I got my 250L, I didn't even look at DRZs because I ruled out right away that I didn't want a carburetor, and now I own one and it doesn't bother me. Of course, like a lot of my vintage bikes are all carbureted, so it shouldn't bother me, but I just got tired of cleaning carburetors all the time. the nice thing is they did put his sheets in right down the street, and they have non-ethanol gas. So getting towards the end of the season, anytime I need to put gas in the DRZ, I just put non-ethanol gas in it, and that seems to be working. Desire to not clean carbs. Yeah. She likes to worry. It's cute. Probably pick up the freeway up here, go south and exit, and then kind of give that another test for the Triumph there. I do like that acceleration. Like, it accelerates quicker now. That snappiness is just there more. That was one of the big things that I was really wanting, and I achieved it. My biggest thing that I wanted to get to is I wanted a modded 300 to be basically on the same level as a stock DRZ 400. And I think it's pretty close. I didn't ride I don't even know if I rode the DRZ on the freeway before I started modding it, because I rode it home on back roads the day I bought it because it was pouring down rain. But it was like the only day that I could go pick it up, so I was like, well, here we go. And I think I just did a bunch of back road stuff and then started throwing parts at it. So I don't know that I even rode it, but it I'll see how this does on the freeway. This will be interesting, because the last time I rode on the freeway, I was definitely like, I couldn't even go to 6th gear. I was in like 5th gear, full throttle. If I tried to shift to 6, it would slow down. So I was getting a little close to the car. Easily would have hit 90. That's way better than it did on the ride home. I mean, I think I was at like downhill, like with the wind, was able to hit like maybe 75, 77-ish. It's way better now. The DRZ pretty well tops out around 90. Yeah, God, I'm stoked. That is sweet. I love this bike. Like, yeah. I feel like vindicated. Like it all like worked out in the end. Like, here's my master plan. Like, if I could do like mwah, my master plan came to work. Yeah. I'm stoked. So stoked. Yeah. She's upset that I'm faster than she is on a 300 versus her 1200. Yeah. Just love that acceleration. Love it. Oh, God, that's great. I do like that this bike is a little bit like lower, like smaller, like framing wise, like seat height wise, framing wise. This bike's a touch on the smaller side, so that makes, and I'm a short, fat guy, so that it definitely feels like, it just feels nice. This dude in his Mercedes is probably pissed he got smoked by a 300. Chump. I mean, you probably didn't know we were racing, but we were definitely racing. God. Like, I swear to God, if my GoPro didn't record that, like, pure excitement of, like, getting those, like, high speeds and, like, that fast acceleration, I'm gonna be so pissed. Because that felt freaking great. I love it. Love his bike. Love it. Highly recommend it. Everybody go buy one. They're great. Love them. Oh, God. This little baby is freaking sweet. Oh, gas light's on. I do hate, I don't know if you see this. You might not even be able to see if the gas light's on because it's right there. I do hate that. That drives me insane. Absolutely drives me insane. Let's try to be quiet. Coming through the neighborhood, all like stealth-like. Like people don't know I'm fucking brapping through here like an idiot all the time. Whew. God, that was sweet. Just sweet. Like, I don't know how excited I am that this thing was able to do those speeds. Stoked. Absolutely stoked. Well, everybody knows my feelings on this bike. I'm fucking stoked right now. Way too excited to say anything bad about it. So, do that. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions about the mods or anything installation wise or anything along those lines, shoot me a comment. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit that subscribe button because I could really use like at least 2 more. Like, I need 2 of you. 2. I'll send you a sticker. If you see that part, you know, send me your address, send me a sticker. Alright. Thanks for watching. See you next time. I'll probably do some Crown Vic stuff next time. Maybe some DRZ, maybe some Speed Twin stuff. Or maybe you guys can just watch me take the 1,000 screws out of these ice tires. Cool. Thanks, guys. Awesome.